This is Nigeria's first family health, lifestyle and entertainment radio station, 107.3 Darling FM. Hello and welcome to the World News. I am Chidera, Rosecamille, Aneke. Here are the headlines. Nigeria holds Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration. Imo State Commissioner for Education announces January 25th as resumption date for all schools in the state. Uganda opposition leader rejects results as President Museveni takes lead. Details shortly. Nigeria has held a ceremony to commemorate the 2021 Armed Forces Remembrance Day. The event, which held at the Arcade in Abuja, seeks to honor Nigeria's fallen heroes and men who gave their all to defend the nation's peace and sovereignty. As expected, President Muhammadu Buhari and the service chiefs were present to pay respect to the nation's heroes. Also in attendance were the Ministry of Defense, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, as well as the leaders of the legislature and judiciary. At the event, President Buhari reviewed the presidential parade and participated in the wreath-laying ceremony. A signing of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day anniversary register and release of the pigeons formed part of the highlights of the ceremony. The Nigeria Armed Forces Remembrance Day is a day set aside for sober reflection on the significance of the armed forces to the country and to pay tribute to servicemen and veterans. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved of the appointment of two managing directors for the two river basin development authorities. He also extended the tenure of 7 other managing directors of the river basin development authorities. This was contained in a statement by the Director, Press and Public Relations in the Ministry of Water Resources, Kenechukwu Ofie. They are Professor Abdul Karim Mohammed, Upper Niger River Basin Development Authority, Dr. Adeni Aremu, Lower Niger River Basin Development Authority, Ilorin, Saliu Ahmed, Managing Director, Benin Owena River Basin Development Authority, Mohammed Adra, Managing Director, Lower Benue River Basin Development Authority, Makadi, amongst others. Resumption date for all schools in Imo State is January 25th, 2021, according to the Imo State Executive Council. Imo State Commissioner for Education BTO Ike had disclosed this to Darling FM in an exclusive interview, stressing that the date is tentative for both public and private schools in the state.
First and foremost, we are resuming on the 25th of this month, regardless of what anybody tells you. That is the decision of the Executive Council of Imo State. It is the position of Imo State government. Both private, public, nursery, primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions in Imo State will resume on the 25th of this month.
Ikegua went on further to state that any school that breaches the government's position on school resumption will be sanctioned.
Any private school or any proprietor of private school that opens before them, we will sanction them. The private schools are not operating independently. They are operating within the ambit of the law. And the Ministry of Education is the only authorized statutory regulatory body that oversees the activities of private schools.
This information is coming barely 24 hours after the federal government affirmed January 18th, 2021 as resumption date for schools in Nigeria after its enlarged meeting with stakeholders in the educational sector. Imo Commissioner for Works Ralph Mosu says the Governor Hobozodinma-led administration is committed to delivering quality roads and other infrastructural projects in the state. Mosu that 49 road projects are ongoing across the state. He stated that he prefers to be slow to deliver quality projects than rush to complete roads that won't stand the test of time.
must accommodate everything we are doing. We will not leave them undone. We will do the best we can to ensure that things are well done. We are assuring you of the best. You can see my colleagues on special projects and international affairs that are here. It shows you that we are working together as a team. Everybody's like mass attack, mass defense. That's what we are doing in this government. If I'm not driving there, my brothers are driving there. At least if my brothers are you not driving there? Are you not a human being like myself? So what will I gain? Well, what corners? How much am I going to get to cut corners? Not to do the best thing. We must work in line with what we have, but without compromising any quality. So as of today in Imo State, we can say that we have 49 ongoing projects. 49 of them at various stages of construction and completion. 28 of them we inherited, and we have added our own in some critical areas.
He said the time frame for the urban renewal is within 6 months, while noting that the 2021 budget, the ministry is not ready to take on loan projects.
Budget. We are not borrowing money again. But as it stands, we are okay with what we are doing. When we were awarded for that or Kigo, people screamed, say, why are you doing? But today we are giving them 8.25 billion. The urban renewal time frame is 6 months. They've cleared the site, and then the coming week work will start effective to ensure that deliver within the contractual period. Contractual period is just 6 months. And quality control, I've been hammering it in terms of quality of roads we are going to deliver. We deliver one of the best. Why did I challenge you? Cost of doing our roads at the best. We have our ministry standard. I will don't go above our ministry standard. So at the end of the day, I will get the ability to give you how much you use. But there is also one that it depends on the terrain. You cannot say that you use 60 million. That was the mistake they made in the past. You say you use 60 million to do 1 kilometer of road. That's very illiterate. There are some places you use 40 million to do a kilometer. And other areas you use 500 million to do 1 kilometer. So it depends. It varies. It depends on the terrain.
The commissioner urged Owerri residents to be patient as rehabilitation work will resume after the completion of the ongoing drainage works. Imo State Ministry of Lands, Survey and Fiscal Planning says it has commenced the frenzied illegal construction of buildings and other physical improvements on lands subject matter of white paper under implementation. This was signed in a statement by the Honorable Commissioner for Lands, Survey and Fiscal Planning, Honorable Enina Onwebu. Honorable Enina stated that certain cases such as dubious individuals have commenced a scheme of purported selling or transfer of non-existent title to unsuspecting members of the public. He reminded members of the public that any structure illegally constructed on any land affected by the directives will be demolished without compensation. Honorable Enina also warned members of the public to desist from purchasing any of such properties being offered for sale at grossly undervalued rates, and such title will not be registered by the ministry. This comes on the heels that the Ministry of Lands has come to the notice following the approval of the white paper on lands and related matters in the state. People's Democratic Party (PDP) Imo State chapter says the All Progressives Congress (APC) government led by Governor Hope Uzodinma in its 1 year of power has not achieved up to 1/10 of the few months in reign by Aneke Hedioha's short-lived administration. Speaking with Sterling FM in a phone interview, the state publicity secretary Ogubundu Nwadike said the APC as a political party has failed in managing the broad diversity of the state. He challenged Ndimo to demand good governance from the present administration.
Mostly in all sets of capacity for good leadership and good governance delivery. That is true, as you can also attest to. So we think it will be more applicable for APC, the governor, their loyalists and apologies, to tell the world what they are celebrating, what have they achieved in that 1 year in office to warrant any celebration. Instead of the money, there should be money with Imo people because of the widespread poverty and suffering that they imposed on the Imo people. So there is no reason for celebration. Actually, they should be wearing black and mourning with Imo people. So Imo must remain strong and tough focus, to getting ready to face the bad leadership and bad governance by use of the regime. It can't be better in 2021. He has no capacity to render good governance. The Igbo must continually demand for good governance from him. It is their right. They must steadily ask him questions, relevant questions, appropriate questions about his stewardship in Imo State. That is their right. They can't just keep silent.
He also urged Governor Hope Uzodinma to declare a state of emergency on rural development.
I'm more concerned with the rural development, and you will agree with me that the PDP reviewed Imo administration led by His Excellency Governor Aneke was significantly and remarkably inclined towards rural development. We were everywhere in the rural areas. The roads were coming, economic activities were picking up, and the Imo PDP proved that developing the rural areas of Imo State wasn't rocket science. He should urgently declare a state of emergency. Yes, a state of emergency on rural development. We should stop running around where a city pretending to be delivering governance, whereas it's not. It must emulate Governor Hebio and shift its focus from to the rural areas and communities of Imo State. The people are really suffering in that part of the world.
According to Aneke, what is paramount to the PDP at this time is the well-being and security of Imo people, particularly as the APC has shown that it has no capacity for governance and no iota of regard for the state. Lawmaker representing Obowo Kennedy Ibe has canvassed for support in the All Progressive Congress while declaring that unity is more important than personal ambition. Speaking during a stakeholders meeting of the party in Obowo local government area, Ibe charged party leaders present on the need to reposition the APC for victory in the state ahead of 2024, while observing that the crisis experienced by the party was made protracted because of the entrenchment of camps and factional interests.
Aga m asị na ofu n'ime mkpa mitin a dịcha karịa ihe gbasara pati kemgbe 2012-13 APC batara na Nigeria. Obowo local government has remained the headquarters of Imo APC, and I'm very, very confident that that narrative is not about to change. Ọwụ na nkwesị ike a ka m ji chee na ọ dịkwa mkpa na otu afọ ọhụrụ na-ebido kọrịta na ọ dị mkpa ugbu a ka onye ọbụla jikọọ aka ọnụ maka akwụ ha alụ ha. Ọ dị mkpa ka anyị niile jikọọ aka anyị ọnụ kwụsị ịgba nkịrịta nke nọ na pati kemgbe 2019. Anyị amarana na immediately after elections, in fact we look to the elections of 2019, interest batara n'ime pati anyị, divide ya pati anyị, and there were a lot of gladiators ụlọ ọgụ ụchakwa ndị pati that led to ịgba nkịrịta nke a na-ekwu okwu ya. Mana emechala election ka emechara election anyị kwesịkwara in the spirit of putting the party first ịbịa together otu anyị si nọ regardless of camp onye ọbụla find onwe ya in the course of pursuit of individual sectional interest at the time.
Kennedy Ibe emphasized that if this unity continues among the people, it will deny them development from the state government.
Ihe ọzọ anyị kwesịrị nọ na-alụkasị onwe anyị ahụ for now na-awụ ozi anyị nwee bịazije oruo ala nnọkọ kwuezie emaya anyị enwe ike nwee benefit from the love this governor nwere for us and of course the privilege anyị nwere na party anyị nọ in power. Therefore, it is important that for the development of this local government, for the progressive and upward movement of this local government, that we must shelve our individual differences and come together at this time, because enwe ihe ọwụla ga na-akpọ onye Obowo ugbu a ọ ga-awụrịrị ihe ga-eme ka Obowo gaa n'ihu. And anyị abịaghị together as members of APC in this local government, if we are not able to bring together this cream of leadership nọ nga now, anyị na-arụ ọrụ in synergy. Onye libi anya na mkpa anya ya aghọta ihe ekwuge onweghị ihe anyị ga-erikpe na gọọmenti a, because ihe anyị ga-agba ọchụ na gọọmenti a ga-awụ chike.
Participants at the stakeholders meeting include Imo State Commissioner for Foreign and International Affairs Fabian Ihekweme, Transition Chairman CC Hejirike, former local government chairman and councillors, former commissioners, youth, women and world leaders, amongst others. This is 107.3 Darling FM Owerri. If you are just joining us, you are listening to the World News. In the news, Nigeria holds Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration. Imo State Commissioner for Education announces January 25th as resumption date for all schools in the state. Still to come, Uganda opposition leader rejects results as President Museveni takes lead. Still ahead is entertainment. Stay tuned.
Missed any of the developing stories during the week? Do you want to get up to speed with the news? Tune in to the People's Radio 107.3 Darling FM at noon every Saturday for the Week in Review. The Week in Review, reminding you of the week's stories today.
Thank you for staying with us here on 107.3 Darling FM. Now to the foreign scene. Ugandan opposition leader Robert Kyagulanyi, popularly known as Bobby Wine, has claimed victory in presidential elections, rejecting as complete sham early results that gave President Yoweri Museveni a wide lead. The former reggae singer said his party's polling agents were beating and chased away in parts of northern and western Uganda that ballot boxes were opened and stuffed, and some voters were only given ballots for the parliamentary election. Museveni is seeking a sixth term after almost 4 decades in power, and Bobby Wine has emerged his main rival in a country where most have known only one president. The internet remained down for a short day as vote counting continued from Thursday's poll, with provisional results from 29% of polling stations giving Museveni an early lead of 63.9%, while Bobby Wine trailed with 28%. In entertainment, popular singers Lady Gaga and Jennifer Lopez will perform at U.S. President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration ceremony in Washington on January 20th. Lady Gaga will sing the national anthem, while Lopez will give a musical performance at the inauguration of the incoming 46th U.S. President. And that's the world news as produced by Ezine Glory Alazie. You can reach our news desk for coverage and eyewitness report on 0818-732-5104. Stay safe and don't forget to use a face mask if you must go out. I am Chidera, Rosecamille, and Aneke. News update is at 5.